Chapter 1, Mishnah 4. The Mishnah returns to the subject of a wall that was built for privacy between two partners who agreed to divide their front yard. The Mishnah teaches the laws that apply if such a wall falls down. If the wall between two halves of a courtyard fell down, we require him, each neighbor, to pay for half the cost to rebuild it up to a height of 4 amos, which is the height necessary to provide privacy. And the assumption is that each person has paid his share unless his neighbor brings proof that he has not paid. Since everyone is aware of the law that both neighbors are required to share the cost of rebuilding the wall to a height of 4 amos, we assume that one neighbor would never have rebuilt the wall using his own money. Rather, he would have taken his neighbor to Beis Din had he refused to pay. Therefore, unless the first neighbor has witnesses that he asked the second neighbor for the money and he refused to pay, we assume that the neighbor already paid. But we do not require either neighbor to pay for rebuilding it higher than 4 amos, even if the original wall is taller than 4 amos. However, if one of the neighbors rebuilt the wall to its original height of more than 4 amos, and paid for the extra height with his own funds, and then he, the second neighbor, built another wall near it, with the intention of building a roof connecting the two walls, then even if he had not yet placed the roof upon it to connect the two, we place upon him the obligation to pay his share in the entire first wall, even the portion higher than 4 amos. By building a second wall parallel to and equal in height to the first one, the neighbor clearly shows that it is his intention to eventually use the upper portion of the rebuilt wall as part of a new structure. Therefore, he is required to pay for his share of that portion too. And in this case, unlike the Mishnah's first case, the assumption is that he has not paid his share for the upper portion of the wall unless he brings proof that he has already paid. Therefore, if the one who rebuilt the dividing wall comes to his neighbor who built a parallel wall and asks him to pay his share in the upper portion of the dividing wall, and the neighbor claims that he has already paid, he is not believed unless he brings witnesses who testify that he paid.